There are countless times in my life that I have felt like I made myself small to accommodate somebody else, which is why I started this podcast, Space Not Taken, so we can reflect on the times that we surrendered space we shouldn't have, and we can learn from those occasions where we reclaimed space that probably was ours to begin with. I am your host, Kelsey Toney, and I'm so excited today to be here with one of my very best friends on this entire planet, Tameka Young. Tameka is an incredibly intelligent writer with this beautiful style that just makes you laugh so hard. Every single sentence I've ever read of hers has made me laugh. And she's also this pop culture enthusiast. She always knows all of the best things to talk about, all the juiciest details of all the things. And it's very exciting to be her friend. So, Tameka, thank you so much for being here today and talking with me a little bit. When I first told Tameka about the idea for this show, I remember asking her if I was alone in these feelings, right? Am I alone in feeling like I have surrendered all of this space that I shouldn't have in my life? And luckily, Tameka and I are the same person. Emotionally, at least, right? We have so much in common. And it meant that she was able to say, no, for sure, I have felt that way. And when I asked, what are some of the ways that you have felt like you didn't quite take up the space that you should have, she had a few like really specific examples. So I was excited to ask her to come today and share a little bit about that. So Tameka, do you want to sort of jump in? You can tell us a little bit about yourself if you want, or maybe how you got interested in writing and how this all connects to the space that you either haven't taken or are learning to take up more.
Yes. Well, first, thank you for having me. This is very exciting. I'm good to talk about this because I think it's really important that we all sort of understand that this is a very universal feeling, and
Yeah.
it's great to just sort of not feel alone in and feeling not seen, and then that causes you to feel afraid to make yourself be and take up space. So I've been a writer for my entire life, and since I learned how to write, always loved writing stories, writing essays, anything. And I was always told that I was good at it, by teachers and various people read things I wrote, and so I felt like, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. And all throughout the course of my life, I always sort of just allowed um, either negative voices to or really negative influences to keep me from pursuing it in a career. And I just in this last couple of years or so, have just sort of made the decision to um, like shut out those negative voices and to really treat my writing like the extension of me that it is, and not like, just, you know, I dream that
Yeah.
I can watch for other people and not myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's a very interesting time.
Yeah. And it's difficult to tune out the negative voices, right? I think writers are, well, all of us are a little nutty, and we're all so susceptible to those negative voices, even the ones that are actually truly not at all real. Like, there's never been a person in my personal experience who's looked at my writing and been like, you're horrible and everything you've ever written has no value at all. No one actually says that, but it is still this totally paralyzing fear sometimes. And our friend group is particularly interesting because we are friends with people who have done the thing. Like, you now have many friends who are traditionally published authors. I mean, that's a very interesting place to be in. A lot of people like want to be writers, but like it all feels very far away and like theoretical, but not for you. It's not theoretical.
Yeah, not theoretical at all. And I mean, I have friends who's been really successful, and prior to, haven't been as successful as they, would have hoped, or, it like really runs the gamut. And it's been interesting being on sort of this kind of fence, because I mean, we're talking about like the last 10 years of, seeing my friends go from, having the idea right, and then all of a sudden they are for beta readers, and then in the query process, and then in the um submission process. So like I've seen that happen, and for me, because I was too weak, well, listening to the 90 voices, minus folk season, um, that I just simply felt like, okay, well, this is happening to them, but this wouldn't happen for me.
So did I have to know, is there a place, was there a moment? Was there like one moment that you, because you've been writing the whole time, was it like a singular moment where you were like, I can't show someone this? Or has it just grown over time?
It was the initial fear, and while because I have friends who are writers, reading things that they wrote made me feel incredibly intimidated. Um, Also, reading the things that they wrote, and, recognizing the fact that most of them were white women writing about white women who are white people. Um, and that wasn't what I was writing. I was writing about not black women or black people. So it kind of like made me feel more like, wow, well, this is something that, I'm able to do, because um, the signs of like success for a black woman writing romance about black people, we're not there. Uh, there are certainly some, but they weren't as lauded. So now, um, it's a lot different. But like 10 years ago, I feel like only black people knew how to find books written by black people.
Yeah. I think the discourse in publishing is very fresh. Like our confronting the racism in publishing is very, very fresh. This is not something that has been like people have been like trying to fix the problems for decades. Like this is all very, very new. Even just like recognizing some of the racism in publishing is very, very, very new.
Mhm. Because it was brought up, and people have things to say about it, and there was discourse about it, but they didn't necessarily move the needle. But it's only been in 2020 that it has been vocalized, and like a conversation has been created, and it still in 3 years hasn't moved the needle much. But I can see, as a black person being looked for books written by black people, that there has been a huge shift. And I just attended a book conference, and then seeing it at the convention. I keep calling it a conference, because I feel like that makes it sound, being more pronounced. But it was just, like a bunch of women reading romance novels. All will take place at one time, so there's a lot of messaging, and it was wonderful. Um, but that is the highest concentration of writers of color that I have ever seen at any sort of book event. It was really, really remarkable. So, left an indelible, I think, personally, they won't comment book as a writer, but about a couple to women my age who look like me, who are writing books about, you know, like women who are in love with monsters. And they're successful, and they have like that huge following. And yeah, that they gave me a lot of hope. But that's like why I'm with space where I am now, because I'm like, yeah, there's a big global place coming there, and if I get there, by public official or being any either way, there's space for me. There's space for whole space for the story to be told.
Yeah.
And I did not believe that.
Do you think that you can identify a few of the things that helped you step into that space? Like, what were the things that pushed you into motion that made you feel like you could step into this space that you deserve to step into?
Well, therapy was super helpful.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So yay for therapy.
Yay for therapy.
Yeah, shout out to my therapist. But then been ride or die. What a day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then also, well, I don't think that I was ever sad to resign. I just kind of felt like, well, this is just the way that was going to be. I didn't grow up in an environment where being a writer was encouraged. It was more so, and you're good at English, of the world to be a teacher, and that sort of like having a steady job, having benefits, things like that. My grandmother once told me what I brought. I want to say it was like almost straight A's on my report card. She told me that I was incredibly smart and that I should work for the city where I grew up. Because that was her frame of reference.
Yeah.
Going to college wasn't encouraged. It was, like if you want to go, you can, but so that kind of was never, highlighted. It was highlighted that I read a lot, because that was a sign of me, being smart. And that was literally in my mom's, like, like 10 minutes about me, where she would introduce me to people. She reads so
Yeah.
many books. Anytime I was sort of, because like you said, writers were a little nutty. So each side of my personality is that I'm a little nutty. I'm a little quirky. I'm a little, left of center. I'm not what you would expect if you were to tell someone, oh, let me introduce you to my friend Tameka. She lives in LA. Um, I'm pretty sure that there is an idea that people would have of a Black woman named Tameka from LA. I am not that. I have never been that, even though now the name Tameka is a bit outdated, like, or Mildred or something. And so probably only middle-aged Black women are named Tameka now. Just gone away. It'll resurge again maybe in 20 years. People are like, I'm going to name her after my grandmother.
Oh my God. But you have the Tamikas have such a strong legacy of being in full effect, you know?
For sure. For sure. Always, 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 always. But yeah, but I'm, not exactly, I've never been exactly what people expected me to be. That will never encourage, like that part of my personality. My enthusiasm for things, or, the fact that I have a ridiculous amount of knowledge. Don't think that, I will, make it feel weird for, having the small personality. And, the fact that I, very much I'm a Valley boy. And, I used to say, I will look like you very more, but I feel like, it's not top of, it's not stuff they do in the first time. But yeah, like I do. I mean, what I do. So, so I always felt like I needed to keep that part of myself to myself. Like not be too much, not be so much, not shine, because it made other people feel negatively about themselves. I, felt like that about like my father, my stepfather, my husband, I told him, and I noticed that was a pattern with me, that I often ended up with people who wanted to dull my shine. or didn't appreciate the facets of my personality that made me me.
Yeah.
And thanks to, being a mother, raising a daughter, and steering her away from that same sort of thinking, it's really helped me, um, you know, figure out how to take up space, like in my own life, how to be me, the main character in my life, because then it's always okay just being on the sidelines, and hyping up everyone else, and like genuinely hyping up everyone else and being so excited when things happen for people. I mean, you missed it. That's how I was a wedding. Um, but I've been a bridesmaid 14 times.
It's like a movie. They should make a movie about that.
I know. Because I'm always here to hype other people up. But I realized in doing that I was taking a taking a side role in my own life and letting other people's success and happiness, you know, outside my own.
Yeah.
And so once I realized that that's what I was doing, because being a people pleaser, like what you like me, everything I've done, you're excited. I've done such a good job. Oh my goodness, put it in my veins.
I've never felt like more of an addict than I am when I'm getting a compliment. I mean, it is like just put it in my veins. Someone tells me something nice about me and I'm just like, give me more. It is the blood in my body. Just give me more. You
More things
can't
like that.
give enough detail, like, ugh.
Yeah, but like I need to be that person for myself. I need to be my own big woman, and I need to be complimenting myself. And why wasn't I doing that?
Yeah.
What was stopping me from doing that?
Yeah, there's been a lot more discourse in the last few years about like be your own best friend and would you say that to another person in your life? Of course not. Then why are you saying it to yourself? I feel like we've had a lot more of those conversations like pop culturally in the last few years. And even just like the rise of the phrase like main character energy has like been such a transformative phrase for me. I have always like hoped that I was worthy of a starring role, but I didn't actually think that I had earned it, so I didn't like take it, Like who's casting this show? Like who'd have to suck up to get cast as the main character in my own life? Like I shouldn't have to try and like schmooze to a casting director to be my own main character, you know?
And what's hysterical to me that you say that, because I feel like if you looked up main character energy in the dictionary, like your face would be right
Oh man. But that's the problem, isn't it? Like that's literally the whole point is that someone else might see you as this person who's got tons of confidence or whatever. And if you don't feel it, if it's really actually shallow and thin and like only held up by the like straw spindles of other people's approval, it's not real. It's not lasting and it doesn't mean anything. Um, so it's really inspiring, I think, to think about how I've watched you over the last couple of years, and even more in the last few months specifically. Like you have been stepping out in a very real, very visible way. And I can only imagine that you've been met with nothing but positive responses from most of the people that you've allowed to see this.
there.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're amazing," right? I mean, like that's the thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, well, what's happening? Well, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, you look so good. Or, your face is so bright. You look so happy. I'm having a lot of things like that. Yeah. So it's just funny the things that sort of shift your perspective. I feel like going to see Beyonce, like that show, was life changing for me. It was transformative. And I mean, I'm not even being hyperbolic when I say that. Like, it really, really was. To see someone who was at the peak of like, she is the bar. But she literally said that she's the bar.
Yeah.
And to see her perform and in her element, you see why she's the bar. that mic was on for 3 hours, and I can't even feel it. I just keep thinking about it. I wake up every day and I miss her. Like, remember when we were together? Oh, yeah. Remember when we spent all that time together and you were singing? We were having such a good time. You were so beautiful. On your outfit. Yeah. She's like, yeah. That stuff for me, I'm just like, why am I not the bar?
Exactly.
Why am I not like, because I am the bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I as you were saying it, I was like, you're the bar. Like, it is. And getting to that point is definitely the challenge, right? That's the goal. That's what this endeavor is all about, right? Is trying to just gather up little bits of information that hopefully we can put in our pockets and save and remember, like, oh yeah, I listened to that podcast where that girl was talking about how like Beyonce's the bar, and then she was like, no, I'm the bar, and like I can do that too. Like that's the hope, right? Well, I hate to cut our conversation short. I know we can always talk for hours and hours on end, but I'll ask if you have any parting words before we close it out. Any last like little tidbits of information or words of wisdom that you'd like to leave with listeners before you sign off for today?
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And getting to this place is really awesome. Getting to the place where you are enthusiastic about taking up space. Like, it is such a high. But it doesn't happen overnight. And like it's something that you have to work at. And you know, like the marathon continues.
I love it. Well, I have no doubt that you'll be on my show again sometime soon because you're gonna be a regular. I can feel it in my bones. And you know I love you so so much. So thank you again for being here today. Well, thanks everybody so much for listening in to us today. And I am so excited to bring you next week's episode. I think it's going to be another really great one. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss an episode. Again, I'm Kelsey Toney. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.